Hey Taurus, I need to share something with you today that honestly gave me chills when these cards came through. I was sitting with your energy this morning, and the moment I started shuffling, I could feel this intense protective shield around you. Like the universe itself has wrapped you in some kind of sacred armor that others just cannot penetrate anymore. You know that feeling when you wake up and something just feels different? Like the air has shifted? That is exactly what is happening in your energy field right now. Someone has been trying to reach you, Taurus. They have been attempting to create pathways back into your life. And what I am seeing here is absolutely fascinating because every single attempt they make just bounces right off this protective barrier you have built around yourself. But here is where it gets really interesting, and I need you to pay close attention to this because the cards are showing me something that honestly surprised even me. There has been an attempt to use your energy in a way that was never meant to serve your highest good. I am talking about someone trying to position you as a sacrifice in their own spiritual warfare, in their own karmic battles. And Taurus, you broke that attack without even fully realizing what you were doing. I pulled 6 cards for you today, and each one is going to reveal a different layer of what has been happening behind the scenes. This is not about creating fear or drama. This is about you understanding the full scope of your own power and how the universe has been protecting you in ways you might not have even noticed. So let me get into this first card because it is setting the entire foundation for everything else that is coming through. I pulled the 10 of Pentacles, and Taurus, when this card shows up in a reading about spiritual attacks and karmic protection, it is telling such a profound story. This is not just about material wealth or family legacy, even though that is traditionally what this card represents. Right now, in your situation, the 10 of Pentacles is showing me that you have built something so solid, so fundamentally strong in your life that it has become impenetrable to outside interference. Think about what the 10 of Pentacles really represents at its core. It is about completion, about having created something that lasts through generations, about establishing a foundation that cannot be easily shaken. And that is exactly what you have done with your own energy, with your own spiritual and emotional boundaries. You have spent years, probably maybe even longer, building up this internal structure. Every time someone disappointed you, every time you had to walk away from toxicity, every time you chose yourself over chaos, you were adding another brick to this fortress. The person who has been trying to reach you, they remember the old you. They remember when your boundaries were more flexible, when you were more accessible, when they could push and pull your energy in whatever direction served them. But that version of you does not exist anymore. You have evolved past that point of vulnerability. The 10 of Pentacles is showing me that you are now standing in your full power. And that power comes from the accumulated wisdom of everything you have been through. Here is what is really fascinating about this card in your reading. When someone tries to use you as a sacrifice, what they are essentially trying to do is drain your resources, your energy, your light to fuel their own agenda. They are trying to take from your abundance to fill their lack. But the 10 of Pentacles does not work that way. This card represents sustainable, protected wealth and energy. It is not something that can be stolen or manipulated because it is rooted in such deep foundations. I am seeing that this person, whoever they are, they have been observing your life from a distance. They have been watching you build, watching you grow, watching you create this beautiful, stable existence for yourself. And in their mind, they thought they could just walk back in and access that energy whenever they wanted to. They thought your door would always be open to them. They thought they could use your goodness, your generosity, your natural Taurus, giving nature as a way to elevate themselves without having to do their own work. But what they did not count on was that you have matured into someone who understands true value. You understand the difference between genuine connection and energetic parasitism. The 10 of Pentacles shows that you are no longer willing to let anyone disrupt the peace and prosperity you have worked so hard to build. You are protecting your garden now, and you are being very selective about who gets to enter that sacred space. The blocked attack that this card is revealing to me has to do with someone trying to guilt you or manipulate you through family dynamics, through tradition, through obligations that you supposedly owe them. The Ten of Pentacles can sometimes represent family pressure, cultural expectations, the idea that you should maintain certain connections just because of history or blood or past relationships. And I am seeing that someone tried to use that against you. They tried to make you feel like you were abandoning some kind of duty or responsibility by protecting yourself. But Taurus, you saw through it. Maybe not immediately, maybe not even consciously at first, but your soul knew. Your higher self recognized the manipulation for what it was. And instead of falling into that old pattern of sacrificing your peace for someone else's comfort, you held your ground. You stayed rooted in the Ten of Pentacles energy, which is all about protecting what you have built and not letting anyone destabilize your foundation. What I am also seeing with this card is that your ancestral energy has been supporting you through this. The Ten of Pentacles often represents generational wisdom and protection. There are people who came before you, whether they are still here or they have passed on, who understand what it means to be used and drained by others. They understand what it means to have to build protective boundaries around your energy and your resources. And that ancestral wisdom has been flowing through you, helping you recognize these attacks for what they are and deflecting them before they could really take root. This card is also telling me that your material stability has been a huge part of why this attack failed. When you are financially secure, emotionally stable, spiritually grounded, it becomes much harder for people to manipulate you. They cannot use desperation against you. They cannot dangle false promises in front of you because you already have what you need. The Ten of Pentacles shows that you have created such a solid life for yourself that you do not need what this person was pretending to offer. And that independence is your greatest protection. The legacy you are building right now, Taurus, it is not just for you. The Ten of Pentacles is showing me that by breaking this attack, by refusing to be used as a sacrifice, you are actually breaking a pattern that might have been running through your family line or your past relationships for a very long time. You are setting a new standard. You are showing the universe and everyone around you that your energy is sacred, that your peace is non-negotiable, that your boundaries are real, and they will be respected. Now let me move to the second card because this one is going to show you more about the nature of this attack and why it ultimately could not touch you. Judgment came through, and Taurus, this is such a powerful card to have in a reading about breaking spiritual attacks. Judgment is all about awakening, about seeing the truth clearly, about that moment when the veil lifts and you finally understand what has really been happening. This is not a gentle realization. This is a full-on spiritual wake-up call. And I am seeing that you have had one recently, or you are in the middle of having one right now. The Judgment card is telling me that there has been a calling forth of truth in your situation. Everything that was hidden is being revealed. Every manipulation tactic, every false intention, every person who was pretending to care about you while actually trying to use you, all of it is coming to light. And this is not happening randomly. This is divine intervention. This is the universe stepping in and saying enough is enough. It is time for Taurus to see everything clearly so they can move forward without these energetic anchors holding them back. I am seeing that the person who tried to reach you, who tried to position you as some kind of sacrifice in their own drama, they are now facing their own judgment moment. Karma is not something you have to chase, Taurus. Karma is not something you have to pray for or wish upon people who have wronged you. Karma is simply the universe restoring balance, and that is exactly what is happening here. This card is showing me that while you have been protected and elevated, the person who tried to harm you is now having to face the consequences of their own actions. Here is what makes the Judgment card so significant in your reading. When someone tries to use you as a sacrifice, they are essentially trying to avoid their own karmic reckoning by shifting the burden onto you. They are trying to make you carry the weight of their mistakes, their failures, their spiritual debt. It is like they are trying to hide behind you so that when the universe comes looking for who needs to balance the scales, you are standing there instead of them. But Judgment does not work that way. You cannot fool divine timing. You cannot manipulate cosmic justice. The Judgment card sees through every illusion, every deflection, every attempt to escape accountability. And what I am seeing in your reading is that the moment this person tried to use you in this way, the moment they tried to make you their shield against their own karma, the universe said absolutely not. The Judgment card activated, and suddenly all of their schemes and plans were exposed to the light. This is why they cannot reach you anymore, Taurus. It is not just that you have built better boundaries, although you absolutely have. It is that there is now divine interference actively blocking them from accessing your energy. The universe has literally stepped between you and them. Every time they try to create a pathway back to you, the Judgment card energy shows up and says this connection is done, this karma is complete, this person no longer has access to this soul. I am also seeing with this card that you are being called to a higher level of awareness. Judgment is asking you to review everything that has happened, not with bitterness or resentment, but with clear eyes and an open heart. You are being asked to see the full truth of who people really were in your life, not who you wanted them to be or who they pretended to be, but who they actually showed themselves to be through their actions. And that clarity is going to set you free in ways you cannot even imagine yet. The Judgment card is also about rebirth and resurrection. After the tower moments, after the deaths and endings, after you have shed all the old skin and released everything that no longer serves you, then comes judgment. Then comes the moment where you rise from the ashes as a completely new version of yourself. And that is where you are right now, Taurus. You are in your Phoenix moment. You are emerging from a cycle of being used and manipulated, and you are stepping into a version of yourself that will never allow that to happen again. What I find really interesting about judgment in this position is that it is also showing me that there will be some kind of public or witnessed vindication for you. Not in a petty way, not in a way where you are trying to prove anything to anyone, but simply because the truth always reveals itself eventually. People who were unsure about what really happened between you and this person, they are going to start seeing the patterns. They are going to start noticing the same behavior being directed at others. They are going to wake up to what you already know. And you will not have to say a word. The Judgment card handles all of that for you. This card is also reminding you that you are not responsible for anyone else's spiritual evolution. You are not responsible for teaching lessons to people who tried to harm you. You are not responsible for making sure they understand what they did wrong. The universe handles all of that. Your only job is to keep rising, keep evolving, keep protecting your peace. The Judgment card takes care of everything else. Let me pull the next card because this is going to show you what this person was really trying to do and why their plan backfired so spectacularly. The Hermit appeared, and Taurus, this card is revealing so much about why this attack failed. The Hermit represents withdrawal, solitude, inner wisdom, and the choice to step away from the noise of the external world to connect with your own truth. And what I am seeing here is that at some point, maybe recently, or maybe this has been building for a while, you made a conscious decision to pull back. You made a choice to stop being so available, so accessible, so easy to reach. This was not about being cold or cruel. This was about self-preservation. This was about recognizing that you needed time and space to hear your own voice again, to reconnect with your own intuition, to remember who you are outside of everyone else's projections and expectations. The Hermit shows that you went inward, and in that inward journey, you discovered something incredibly important. You discovered that most of the connections you thought you needed were actually draining you. You discovered that a lot of the relationships you were maintaining were one-sided. You discovered that you had been giving pieces of yourself away to people who would never truly value what you offered. Here is where the Hermit connects to breaking that attack. When you withdrew into yourself, when you chose solitude and reflection over constant availability, you essentially removed yourself from the battlefield before this person could even make their move. They were planning to use you, to manipulate your energy, to position you as a sacrifice in whatever drama they had created. But when they reached out, when they tried to execute their plan, you were not there. Not because you knew specifically what they were planning, but because your soul had already guided you to safety. The Hermit is showing me that your absence has been your greatest weapon. Think about it, Taurus. How can someone use you if they cannot find you? How can someone drain your energy if you are not engaging? How can someone make you a part of their toxic cycle if you have completely removed yourself from their orbit? The Hermit represents the wisdom of strategic withdrawal, and you have embodied that perfectly. I am also seeing that during this time of withdrawal, you have been doing some really deep inner work. The Hermit carries a lantern, a light that illuminates the path, but that light is not for everyone. That light is first and foremost for you. You have been shining that light into the corners of your own psyche, examining your patterns, understanding why you allowed certain things to continue for as long as they did, recognizing the wounds that made you vulnerable to manipulation in the first place. And through that inner work, through that honest self-reflection, you have built up an immunity to the tactics that used to work on you. You can see the manipulation coming now before it even arrives. You can feel the shift in someone's energy when they are approaching you with an agenda. You can sense when someone is trying to guilt you or pressure you or make you feel responsible for their emotional state. The Hermit has given you the gift of discernment, and that discernment is a shield that cannot be penetrated. What is really fascinating about the Hermit in this reading is that it is showing me this person has been completely baffled by your withdrawal. They cannot understand why you are not responding the way you used to. They cannot figure out why their usual tactics are not working. They keep sending out probes, little tests to see if you are still the person they remember, still the person they could manipulate and control. But every time they reach out, they hit a wall of silence. They hit the Hermit energy, which is completely unmoved by external pressure. The Hermit is also about spiritual maturity and wisdom that comes from experience. You are not the same person you were before, Taurus. You have climbed the mountain. You have done the work. You have faced yourself honestly and courageously. And because of that inner transformation, the external world no longer has the same power over you. People who used to be able to push your buttons, trigger your wounds, manipulate your emotions, they are finding that none of that works anymore. You have changed the locks on your energy, and they do not have the new keys. This card is also telling me that your solitude has been healing for you in ways that might not even be fully visible yet. Sometimes we need to step away from everyone and everything to remember our own strength. Sometimes we need silence to hear the truth. Sometimes we need distance to see clearly. The Hermit has given you all of that. And in that sacred space of solitude, you have reconnected with a part of yourself that is ancient and wise and absolutely unshakable. I am also seeing that your withdrawal was divinely guided. The Hermit often represents a spiritual teacher or guide, and in your case, I feel like your own higher self has been that teacher. Your intuition told you to pull back, even if you could not articulate exactly why. Your gut told you that something was not right, that someone was not safe, that you needed to protect yourself, and you listened. You honored that inner knowing. And because you did, you were not present when this person tried to launch their attack. You were already safe in your hermit cave, doing your inner work, building your spiritual strength. The failed sacrifice that this card is revealing has to do with availability. They needed you to be present, engaged, accessible for their plan to work. They needed you to still be playing the game, still be invested in the dynamic, still be willing to show up for them. But the Hermit shows that you stopped showing up, not out of spite, not out of revenge, but simply because you recognized that your presence in that space was no longer serving your highest good. And that choice, that simple choice to step back and go within, that is what broke their attack before it could even really begin. Let me move to the fourth card now, because this is going to reveal even more about the karmic justice that is unfolding. The Hanged Man came through, and Taurus, this card is so significant in a reading about sacrifice because the Hanged Man is the ultimate symbol of sacrifice. But here's the key difference, and this is what you need to understand. The Hanged Man represents willing sacrifice, chosen sacrifice, sacrifice that serves a higher purpose and leads to enlightenment. What this person was trying to do to you was make you an unwilling sacrifice, force you to carry burdens that were never yours to carry, use your energy without your consent for their own agenda. The universe does not support unwilling sacrifice. The universe does not support manipulation disguised as spirituality. The universe does not support one person trying to dump their karma onto another person. And the Hanged Man showing up in your reading is confirmation that cosmic law is very clear on this. You cannot be sacrificed against your will. You cannot be used as a spiritual scapegoat. Your energy is sovereign, and anyone who tries to violate that sovereignty will face immediate karmic correction. What I am seeing with the Hanged Man is that this person is now in a suspended state. They tried to move forward with their plan, they tried to use you in their schemes, but the moment they attempted it, everything in their life came to a standstill. The Hanged Man represents being stuck, being unable to progress, being forced to wait and reflect. And that is exactly what is happening to them right now. They are hanging in limbo, unable to move forward, unable to go back, completely suspended in the consequences of their own actions. This is the karmic justice part that you need to understand, Taurus. They tried to sacrifice you, but instead they sacrificed themselves. They tried to put you in a position of powerlessness, but instead they rendered themselves powerless. The Hanged Man shows that the very trap they set for you has caught them instead. Every bit of negative energy they sent your way has boomeranged back to them with even greater force. Every manipulation tactic they deployed has now become the chains that bind them in place. The Hanged Man also represents a radical shift in perspective. What looked like a good idea to them at the time, what seemed like a clever plan, what they thought would benefit them, all of that has been completely inverted. Now they are seeing the situation from an entirely different angle, and from this new upside-down perspective, they are starting to realize the magnitude of their mistake. They are starting to understand that you were never the weak target they thought you were. They are starting to see that messing with your energy was the worst decision they could have made. I am also seeing that the Hanged Man is showing a period of forced reflection for this person. They cannot escape their own thoughts right now. They cannot distract themselves from what they have done. They are being held in this suspended state until they truly understand the lessons they need to learn. And one of those primary lessons is that you cannot use people without consequences. You cannot treat someone like a disposable tool and expect the universe to just look the other way. You cannot try to sacrifice someone else to save yourself from your own karma. What is really interesting about the Hanged Man in this position is that it is showing me this person might actually go through a genuine awakening because of this. Not because you did anything to them, not because you cursed them or wished them harm, but simply because the natural consequences of their actions have forced them into a position where they have no choice but to look at themselves honestly. The Hanged Man is uncomfortable. It is frustrating. It feels like being trapped. But it is also one of the most spiritually transformative cards in the deck when someone is willing to do the inner work. But here is the thing, and this is important. Their awakening is not your responsibility. Their transformation is not your concern. Whether they learn from this or not has nothing to do with you anymore. The Hanged Man in your reading is simply showing you that cosmic justice is real, that the universe does not let these things slide, that people who try to harm others will eventually have to face themselves. You do not need to watch it happen. You do not need to know the details. You do not need confirmation or closure. The Hanged Man assures you that it is being handled. This card is also revealing to me that you might have felt suspended yourself for a period of time. Maybe there was a phase where you felt stuck, where you could not understand why certain things were happening, where you felt like you were in limbo waiting for something to shift. But now I am seeing that what felt like suspension was actually protection. You were being held in place, kept out of harm's way, while the universe rearranged things behind the scenes. The Hanged Man was not punishing you, it was shielding you. And now that the danger has passed, now that the attack has been deflected, you are being released from that suspended state. You are being turned right side up again. You are being given the green light to move forward. But you are moving forward as a different person, someone who has gained wisdom from the waiting, someone who understands on a deeper level how energy works and how to protect yourself from those who would seek to misuse your light. The Hanged Man is ultimately about surrender, but not the kind of surrender where you give up or give in. It is about surrendering to divine timing, trusting that the universe knows what it is doing, releasing the need to control outcomes or force situations. And I am seeing that you have learned this lesson beautifully, Taurus. You have surrendered the need to make people understand you, to get apologies from those who wronged you, to receive validation from those who never truly saw your worth. You have surrendered all of that, and in doing so, you have freed yourself in ways that this person cannot even comprehend. Let me pull the next card, because this is going to show you what is opening up for you now that this attack has been broken. Eight of Wands just flew into this reading, and Taurus, after all that heaviness, after all that protection and karmic justice, here comes the acceleration. The Eight of Wands is pure momentum. This is things happening fast, things moving forward rapidly, opportunities coming in quick succession, messages and communications flying in from all directions. This card is showing me that now that the blockage has been cleared, now that the attack has been broken, now that you are no longer being drained by someone trying to use your energy, everything is about to speed up for you in the best possible way. Think about what was happening before. You had someone trying to anchor you down, trying to use you as a sacrifice, trying to keep you stuck in their drama and their dysfunction. That is heavy energy. That slows everything down. That creates resistance in your field. But now that they cannot reach you anymore, now that the Hanged Man has them suspended in their own karma, while you are free and clear, the Eight of Wands shows that all that stagnant energy is being released. All that blocked flow is suddenly moving again. All the opportunities and blessings that were waiting for you to be ready, they are now rushing in. The Eight of Wands is showing me rapid developments in multiple areas of your life. This might be career opportunities that come out of nowhere. This might be new connections with people who actually respect and value you. This might be creative projects that suddenly take off. This might be financial breakthroughs that happen faster than you expected. Whatever it is, the Eight of Wands says it is coming in fast, and you need to be ready to receive it. What I love about this card in your reading is that it is confirmation that you made the right choice in protecting yourself. You made the right choice in withdrawing when you did. You made the right choice in not allowing yourself to be used. And now the universe is rewarding that discernment, that self-respect, that commitment to your own well-being. The Eight of Wands is the universe saying, well done, you passed the test, you protected your energy, you refused to be a sacrifice, and now here is what you actually deserve. I am also seeing that the Eight of Wands represents communication. And in your case, I feel like this might be about your own voice becoming more powerful. Maybe you have been quiet for a while. Maybe you have been in your hermit phase where you were not sharing much with the world. But the Eight of Wands says that is about to change. Your message is about to go further than you thought possible. Your truth is about to reach people who really need to hear it. Your story is about to inspire others who are going through similar situations. This card is also showing me swift justice and swift movement away from anything that was trying to hold you back. The Eight of Wands moves so fast that nothing can catch it. Nothing can slow it down. Nothing can interfere with its trajectory. And that is the energy you are stepping into now, Taurus. You are becoming untouchable in the best possible way. You are moving so fast toward your blessings that the people who tried to use you cannot even keep up. They are still stuck back there in their Hanged Man suspension, while you are already miles ahead living your best life. The Eight of Wands is also about alignment. When everything is in alignment, when you are on the right path, when you are connected to your purpose and protected by the universe, things just flow. Things just happen. Doors just open. People just show up. Opportunities just present themselves. And that is the energy that is coming in for you now. You are entering a phase of divine alignment where everything is going to feel easier, lighter, more natural than it has in a long time. What I am also picking up with this card is that you might receive some kind of message or communication very soon that confirms everything these cards have been telling you. This might be someone reaching out to tell you they finally see what you were dealing with. This might be information coming to light that validates your choices. This might be your own intuition giving you a clear download about what your next steps should be. However it comes, the Eight of Wands says the message is on its way and it is going to bring clarity and confirmation. The speed of the Eight of Wands is also showing me that you do not need to worry about timing anymore. You do not need to wonder when things are going to shift or when things are going to get better. The Eight of Wands says it is happening now. The wheels are already in motion. The momentum has already begun. You just need to stay open, stay ready, and trust that the universe is moving everything into place at exactly the right speed. This card is such a beautiful confirmation that breaking that attack has opened up your path in ways you might not have even realized were possible. Every bit of energy you were spending trying to manage that toxic connection, every bit of attention you were giving to someone who did not deserve it, every bit of worry you had about their opinion or their judgment, all of that energy is now freed up. And the Eight of Wands shows that freed up energy is being redirected toward your actual purpose, your actual blessings, your actual destiny. Now let me pull this final card, because this is going to seal the entire message and show you what the ultimate outcome of all of this is going to be. Queen of Swords appeared, and Taurus, this is the perfect closing card for this reading. After everything you have been through, after all the protection you have received, after breaking that attack and watching karma handle your battles for you, you are stepping into Queen of Swords energy. This is not the soft, gentle, overly accommodating version of you that people were used to. This is the version of you that has been sharpened by experience, that has learned to cut through manipulation with clarity, that refuses to waste time on anything that is not authentic and real. The Queen of Swords represents truth, boundaries, mental clarity, and the ability to make decisions based on logic and wisdom rather than emotion and obligation. This is you now, Taurus. This is who you have become through this entire experience. You are no longer someone who can be guilt-tripped. You are no longer someone who can be manipulated through emotional appeals. You are no longer someone who will sacrifice your own well-being to make other people comfortable. What I love about the Queen of Swords in this position is that she is showing me you have developed a very clear inner compass. You know what is real and what is performance. You know who is genuine and who is playing games. You know when someone is approaching you with clean intentions and when someone is trying to use you. That discernment is your superpower now, and it is something that can never be taken away from you. The Queen of Swords is also showing me that you have found your voice in a new way. This is not about being harsh or cruel. This is about being honest and direct. This is about saying what needs to be said without apology. This is about setting boundaries that are crystal clear and non-negotiable. This is about communicating your truth even when other people do not want to hear it. The Queen of Swords does not soften her message to make others comfortable, and neither should you. I am seeing that this new energy you are carrying is actually going to attract completely different people and opportunities into your life. The Queen of Swords energy naturally repels those who are not operating with integrity. It makes manipulators uncomfortable. It makes liars nervous. It makes people who are used to getting away with things realize that you are not the one to try that with. And at the same time, this energy attracts people who value honesty, who respect boundaries, who appreciate someone who says what they mean and means what they say. This card is showing me that you are now in a position of authority in your own life. You are the queen of your own kingdom. You are the one who decides who gets access and who does not. You are the one who determines what is acceptable and what is not. You are the one who sets the standards and enforces them without wavering. The Queen of Swords does not ask permission to protect herself. She does not seek approval to enforce her boundaries. She simply does what needs to be done with confidence and clarity. What is also coming through with this card is that you might find yourself in situations where you are helping others see through manipulation as well. The Queen of Swords often becomes a trusted advisor, someone people come to when they need honest feedback or when they are trying to figure out if someone in their life is being genuine. Your own experiences have given you the ability to spot patterns and see through facades, and that is wisdom that others are going to benefit from. The Queen of Swords is also telling me that you have released any bitterness about what happened, This is not someone who is holding grudges or plotting revenge. This is someone who has processed the pain, learned the lessons, and moved on with absolute clarity about who they are and what they will and will not accept. You understand that the best revenge is living well, being happy, being free, and being completely unbothered by people who thought they could use you. This card is showing me that your mental and emotional strength is now at a level where very little can shake you. You have been through the fire. You have faced manipulation. You have broken spiritual attacks. You have watched karma handle your battles. You have emerged on the other side not as a victim, but as a victor. The Queen of Swords is unshakable, and that is exactly what you have become. I am also seeing with this card that you might need to continue being vigilant. The Queen of Swords is always aware. She does not let her guard down completely. She stays sharp, stays observant, stays ready to cut away anything that tries to attach itself to her energy without permission. This does not mean living in fear or paranoia. This means maintaining the healthy boundaries you have established and not letting anyone convince you to lower them for the sake of being nice or giving second chances to people who have already shown you who they are. The Queen of Swords is ultimately showing me that you have reclaimed your power in the most complete way possible. You are no longer waiting for anyone to save you, validate you, or fight your battles for you. You are your own protector now. You are your own advocate. You are your own champion. And that self-sufficiency, that inner strength, that unshakable clarity, that is what is going to carry you forward into the amazing future that the Eight of Wands showed is already rushing toward you. So Taurus, let me bring all of this together for you. You broke a powerful attack without even fully realizing what you were doing. Someone tried to use you as a sacrifice in their own karmic drama, but the universe said absolutely not. Your boundaries, your withdrawal, your inner wisdom, all of it came together to create an impenetrable shield around your energy. The person who tried to harm you is now suspended in their own karma while you are free and accelerating toward blessings and opportunities that are coming in fast. And you are stepping into this Queen of Swords energy where you are clear, strong, unshakable, and absolutely unwilling to ever be used again. This is your time, Taurus. This is your season of protection, vindication, and rapid growth. Keep your boundaries strong. Keep your energy protected. Keep moving forward with confidence. The universe has your back, and nothing and no one can touch you now.